Welcome back. I'm Pratap here. Today is the 2nd November 2024. In this video, I'm going to generate different supply demand zone reports. And from this month onwards, I'm also adding more reports, some more new reports. And the first one is prices closed inside the monthly zones. Next, prices closed inside the weekly zone. And price closed inside the daily zone. Such kind of stocks we will filter, and those stocks again further we filter based on EMA Confluence, because some of you might be using those zones as HTF zones and you prepare your own trade setups, and all the people who wants to build their own trade setups, these zones will be useful. So you, based on this, you can build your own MIT or WIT or DIT related setups you can prepare. And any experienced supply demand zone traders, probably you might be having good knowledge about how to prepare your own trade setups. And this information is available stocks near demand and supply zones. So first I will identify stocks near monthly demand zone. Immediately after that you can also find stocks where price closed inside the monthly demand zone. Similarly, stocks near weekly demand zone, and after that where price closed inside the weekly demand zone. After that daily stocks near daily demand zone, and after that where price closed inside the daily demand zones. And during this process, we will also further filter based on the EMA Confluence, that is monthly, weekly and daily at that respective time frames. And the first report, let us find the stocks near demand and supply zones starting from half yearly time frame. So I am selecting half yearly time frame, and let us find the stocks near half yearly demand zone. One stock is filtered. I'm giving you only few seconds time to watch the report, so you need to pause the video, study the report, and after that you have to proceed. Same procedure you have to apply for all the time frames and all the reports. In case if you does not know how to study this report, I request you complete our training lesson 21.1. In that video I explain each and every column, values, abbreviations, everything I have explained in detail. Okay, next, for half yearly time frame, let's find the stocks near half yearly supply zone. One stock is filtered near to the half yearly supply zone. Next time frame is quarterly. Let's find the stocks near quarterly demand zone. 3 stocks are filtered. Next quarterly time frame, let's find the stocks near quarterly supply zone. 3 stocks are filtered. Next time frame is monthly. Let's find the stocks near monthly demand zone. 2 stocks are filtered near to the monthly demand zone. Next, for monthly time frame, let's find the stocks near monthly supply zone. 5 stocks are filtered. Next monthly time frame, let's find the stocks where price closed inside the monthly demand zone. So these are the first 19 stocks. I am scrolling the list down. So total 22 stocks are filtered. So how many of these monthly demand zones are having monthly EMA Confluence? So let's further filter this list. I am adding the filter EMA Confluence on monthly time frame, monthly demand zone with monthly EMA Confluence. So 16 stocks are filtered. But remember, EMA Confluence makes sense only in the trending market, not in the sideways market. Some of the stocks sideways is supporting, so you can ignore those stocks. See, you need to further filter based on the information available. Which stock you should accept, which stock you should not accept. You have to take a decision. All the information is available in this report. Okay, next monthly time frame. Let's find the stocks where price closed inside the monthly supply zone. 6 stocks are filtered. Let's verify how many of these supply zones are having a EMA Confluence. Supply zones with the monthly EMA Confluence. So in the EMA Confluence at monthly time frame, monthly supply zone with monthly EMA Confluence. These 3 stocks are having. Okay, next time frame is weekly. Let's find the stocks near weekly demand zone. 6 stocks are filtered. Next, for weekly time frame, let's find the stocks near weekly supply zone. 11 stocks are filtered near to the weekly supply zone. Next, for weekly time frame, let us find the stocks where price closed inside the weekly demand zone. We got a very big list. I am scrolling the list down. First 16 stocks you are seeing. I am scrolling the list down. So total 59 stocks are filtered, where price currently closed inside the weekly demand zone. Let's verify how many of these weekly demand zones are having weekly EMA Confluence. Let me further filter based on EMA Confluence. So in the EMA Confluence, weekly time frame, the weekly demand zone having weekly EMA Confluence. Now the list is reduced. Even then, we have good number of stocks. These are the first 17 stocks. I am scrolling the list down. So total 31 stocks are there. See, some of these demand zones are peers demand zones. You can ignore them. That also we can do. See, while filtering in the peers count weekly time frame, weekly demand zone minimum 0, weekly 0, it should be applied to the demand zone. That's why entry zone. Now let's filter. See, now list is come down to 17, and all these are all not pierced zones, where price closed inside the weekly demand zone, and these zones are not pierced, and also these zones are having weekly demand zone with weekly EMA Confluence. So you know how to further filter. Sideways market, the EMA Confluence does not give any additional advantage. Uptrend is much a clear zone. Okay, this is about price closed inside the weekly demand zone. Next, for weekly time frame, let's find the stocks where price closed inside the weekly supply zone. We got 20 stocks. First, let us eliminate the pierced zones. So in the pierced count, weekly time frame, minimum value I am setting to 0, maximum value 0. That means zone should not be pierced. And this should be applied to the weekly supply zone. So entry zone is supply zone. Still, this is the first 15 stocks. So total 20 stocks are filtered. So in this 20, again further we can filter based on the EMA confluence, that is supply zones having a weekly EMA confluence. So in the EMA confluence, at weekly time frame, weekly supply zone having weekly EMA confluence. 13 stocks are filtered. Just a minute, please. Somebody is knocking my door. Please give me excuse me. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm back. So this is about the weekly supply zones having weekly EMA confluence. You can eliminate some of these zones based on weekly trend is having sideways. You can focus on the stocks having downtrend, but some stocks are having uptrend. Counter trend trade setups related. If you are already, maybe none of our members are aware of these concepts. In case if any of you are having counter trend trade setups, that setup also you can plan for the stocks having a downtrend. That way HTF zones you can plan. Okay, anyway, this is a stocks having supply zones, weekly supply zones having weekly EMA confluence. Okay, this is about weekly time frame, and the next time frame is daily. Entry time frame daily. Let us find the stocks near daily demand zone. 4 stocks are filtered. Let's check high liquidity demand zones. Birlasoft is having a daily high liquidity demand zone. That's it. We have one daily high liquidity demand zone available. This is also having daily high liquidity supply zone also, but it is a low priority high liquidity supply zone. Okay, next for daily time frame, let's find the stocks where price closed inside daily supply zone. 12 stocks are filtered. Let's identify high liquidity daily supply zones from this list. Asian Paint is having a daily high liquidity supply zone. Escorts is having a daily high liquidity supply zone. That's it. We have 2 high liquidity daily supply zones from this list. Okay, next for daily time frame, let us find the stocks where price closed inside the daily demand zone. But before that, entry zone I am adding as a demand zone, and I don't want pierced zones. So in the pierced count at daily time frame, I am setting minimum value 0, maximum value 0. That means daily demand zone should not be pierced. So total 13 stocks we got, where currently price closed in these daily demand zones. Now in this list, let us identify the stocks having daily EMA confluence. So in the EMA confluence and daily time frame, I am adding the filter daily demand zone with daily EMA confluence. Now 5 stocks. So in these 5 stocks, daily zones are having daily EMA confluence, but there is a stock sideways, you can ignore them. Uptrend you can plan for bullish trade setups, downtrend you can look for counter trend trade setup related opportunities if any, if you are aware of counter trend trade setup strategies. Otherwise you can ignore those downtrend related zones. Okay, this is about bearish trades this is about stocks closed inside the daily zones and having supply zones having a daily EMA confluence. Sorry for my mistake. This is about daily demand zones. Price closed inside the daily demand zone, and these demand zones are having daily EMA confluence. Next, for daily time frame, let's find the stocks where price closed inside daily supply zone. We got a big list. First, let me eliminate the pierced count. So I have to apply the pierced count to the supply zones. We are looking for daily supply zones. Price closed inside daily supply zones. So in the pierced count at a daily time frame, minimum value I am setting to 0, maximum value I am setting to 0. This filter is applied to daily supply zone. And this is the list. Currently where price closed inside the daily supply zone. These are the first 15 stocks. I am scrolling the list down. So total 21 stocks are filtered. So we can further filter these stocks based on daily EMA confluence. Out of these 21, how many of these daily supply zones are having daily EMA confluence? So in the EMA confluence, at a daily time frame, I am setting the filter daily supply zone with daily EMA confluence. Now the list is reduced to 15. All these 15 minute supply zone, in all these 15 stocks, these daily supply zones are having daily EMA confluence. But some of these stocks are having trend sideways. You have to ignore those stocks. And bearish trade setup, you can plan downtrends. And counter trend trade setups, you can look for uptrend related stocks. Okay, this is about daily time frame, and the next time frame is 125 minutes. Let us find the stocks near 125 minutes demand zone. 12 stocks are filtered. Next, for 125 minutes time frame, let's find the stocks near to the 125 minute supply zone. 11 stocks are filtered. Next time frame is 75 minutes. Entry time frame 75 minutes. Let us find the stocks where price closed near to the 75 minutes demand zone. 14 stocks are filtered. Let us identify high liquidity demand zones from this list. Balkrishna Industries, you can't use ICICI Prudential because it is already pierced. So that means we have only one high liquidity demand zone, daily demand zone from this list. Okay, next, for 75 minutes time frame, let us find the stocks where price closed inside the where price closed near to the 75 minute supply zone. We got a very big list. These are the first 15 stocks. I'm scrolling the list down. So total 24 stocks are filtered where price closed near to the 75 minute supply zone. Let us look for high liquidity 75 minute supply zones from this list. We have first stock Divi's Lab. Dr. Reddy is not valid. It is a pierced zone, so it is invalid. And JK Cement, second stock. And ONGC, third stock. and PI Industries, fourth one. Sri Cement is invalid because it is a pierced zone. So that's it. We have 4 high liquidity 75-minute supply zones from this list. Okay, next time frame is a 25 minutes time frame. Let's find the stocks near 25 minutes demand zone. 6 stocks are filtered. Next, for 25 minutes time frame, let's find the stocks near 25 minutes supply zone. 9 stocks are filtered. Next time frame is 15 minutes. Let's find the stocks near 15 minutes demand zone. 3 stocks are filtered. Let's verify any of these demand zones are having ITF confluence. That is 15 minutes demand zone with 75 minutes demand zone confluence. I am enabling the filter. Let's verify. So both these stocks are having ITF confluence. That means 15 minutes demand zone is part of the 75 minutes demand zone. Okay, next for 15 minutes time frame, let's find the stocks near 15 minutes supply zone. 11 stocks are filtered. Let's verify any of these stocks are having ITF confluence, but there are good number of supply zones are pierced. We have to ignore them. First in the pierced count, 15 minutes time frame, I am setting minimum value 0, maximum value 0, and this filter should be applied to the supply zone, entry zone, supply zone. And now we are looking for supply zone first without ITF confluence. How many we got? 6 stocks. In these 6, how many are having ITF confluence? That is 15 minute supply zone with 75 minute supply zone. Four stocks. So these 4 stocks are having ITF confluence. That means 15 minute supply zones are part of the 75 minute supply zone. Okay, the next time frame is 5 minutes. Let's find the stocks near 5 minutes demand zone. Five stocks are filtered. Let's verify if any of these zones are having ITF confluence. But in that, DLF is already pierced. Ignore that stock. The 5 minutes demand zone with 15 minutes demand zone confluence. We got 3 stocks. In all these 3 stocks, 5 minute zones are part of the 15 minutes demand zone. Okay, next for 5 minutes time frame, let's find the stocks near 5 minute supply zone. 9 stocks are filtered. In these 9 supply zones, how many are having ITF supply zone confluence? And here also there are a good number of supply zones are pierced. You can ignore them. In the supply zone confluence, 5 minute supply zone with 15 minute supply zone confluence. We got 4 stocks. In that, 2 stocks are already pierced. Ignore them. The first one and the third one. Okay, these are the stocks near demand and supply zones. Next, let us generate NIFTY and BANKNIFTY supply demand zone chain. Let's start with NIFTY. NIFTY 50, starting with monthly time frame. I am generating monthly supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. Always look into the zone column to find the high liquidity zones. Look into the pierced column to find the pierced zones. And look into the LTF trend to identify the current trend of the time frame you have selected. This is the way you should understand the remaining reports. Okay, next I'm changing the time frame to weekly, generating weekly supply demand zone chain for Nifty. Okay, next time frame is daily, generating daily supply demand zone chain for Nifty. Next time frame is 125 minutes, generating 125 minute supply demand zone chain for Nifty. Next time frame is 75 minutes, generating 75 minute supply demand zone chain for Nifty. Next time frame is 25 minutes, generating 25 minute supply demand zone chain for Nifty. Okay, the next time frame is 15 minutes, generating 15 minute supply demand zone chain for Nifty. And the next time frame is 5 minutes, generating 5 minute supply demand zone chain for Nifty. Because few demand zones are there, let me scroll the list down. I think this information is good enough for you to understand. Okay, this is about Nifty supply demand zone chain. Next, I am going to generate Bank Nifty supply demand zone chain, that is Nifty Bank. Let me start with monthly time frame, generating monthly supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next time frame is weekly, generating weekly supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next time frame is daily, generating daily supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next time frame is 125 minutes, generating 125 minute supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next time frame is 75 minutes, generating 75 minute supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next time frame is 25 minutes, generating 25 minute supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next time frame is 15 minutes, generating 15 minute supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. And the last time frame is 5 minutes. I am generating 5 minute supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Look into this 111. That is yesterday's trading session. This is a special trading session, 1 hour session. Mostly institutions participation you can't expect. So ignore such kind of zones. We can't trust. It may work or may not work, but we can't trust them. So you should be very careful with the zones created on the special trading day. Institutional participation is a question mark whether it is available or not. Okay, this is about Bank Nifty supply demand zone chain. Next, we will generate next set of reports, bullish and bearish trade setups for monthly, weekly, daily and hourly income trade. Let me start with bullish trade setup for monthly income trade. Entry time frame is daily. Entry zone is demand zone. In bullish or bearish trade setup, at entry time frame daily, I have to select bullish. And this daily demand zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count at a daily time frame, I am setting minimum value 0. Minimum value 0, maximum value 0. That means the pierced count should be 0. Pierced count 0 means zone is not pierced. Next, zone achievement violated opposing zone. Minimum odd enhancer score 12. And all the 3 filters are applied to daily demand zone. Let's verify. We got 11 stocks. All these 11 stocks are supporting bullish trade setup for monthly income trade. Entry time frame, daily. Entry zone, demand zone. All these daily demand zone supports bullish trade setups. But within these 11, there could be high probability supported stocks might be available. So we filter based on LTF and ITF demand zone confluence, and another filter LTF, ITF and HTF confluence. So let's identify high liquidity zones. Not high liquidity, sorry for my mistake. High probability supported zones. So the first filter LTF and ITF demand zone confluence, that is the daily and weekly demand zone confluence. I am enabling the filter. And this filter applied to those 11 stocks. From the 11, 7 stocks are filtered. That means in all the 7 stocks, daily zone is part of the weekly zone. That is what daily zone overlapped with weekly zone. That is what zone confluence. Okay. So weekly is ITF. ITF trend is up. Because the weekly trend is up, if the weekly zones are having weekly EMA confluence, they are even more high probability setup. Let's verify. In the EMA confluence, weekly time frame, weekly demand zone with weekly EMA. Why weekly demand zone? Because daily demand zone, our entry demand zone is a part of the weekly demand zone. It is overlapped. So that's why we are looking for weekly EMA confluence. So in that 5 stocks are further filtered. So these 5 are even more high probability setup supported stocks. So this is the way we should understand. So next filter is LTF, ITF, HTF zone confluence. So I am removing this EMA filter. LTF, ITF, HTF. That means daily is part of the weekly, both together again part of the monthly demand zone. So we should set 3 filters, daily demand zone with weekly demand zone already enabled, daily demand zone with monthly demand zone confluence, I set that, and a weekly demand zone with monthly demand zone confluence also enabled. With all the 3 filters, we get LTF, ITF, HTF demand zone confluence. We got 3 stocks. In all these 3 stocks, our entry time frame daily demand zone is part of the weekly demand zone. Again, both together part of the monthly demand zone. And monthly trend is also uptrend in all the 3 stocks. If in these 3 stocks, any of these monthly demand zones are having monthly EMA confluence, they are even more high probability setup. Let's verify. In the EMA confluence, monthly time frame, monthly demand zone with monthly EMA confluence. Let's verify. All the 3 stocks are filtered. That means all these 3 are high probability setup supported stocks. Okay, this is about bullish trade setup for monthly income trade. Next, let us look for bearish trade setup for monthly income trade. Entry time frame is daily. Entry zone should be supply zone. In bullish or bearish trade setup at a daily time frame, that is entry time frame, I am selecting bearish. This daily supply zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count at a daily time frame, I am setting minimum value is 0, maximum value is 0. That means daily supply zone should not be pierced. And zone achievement violated opposing zone. Minimum odd enhancer score 12. All the 3 filters are applied to daily supply zone. So these 3 stocks are filtered. That means these 3 are currently supporting bearish trade setup for monthly income trade. That is entry time frame, entry zone or daily supply zone. In these 3 daily supply zones, will there be any high probability supported stocks? Let us look for LTF and ITF supply zone confluence. That is daily and weekly supply zone confluence. So I am enabling the filter. Daily supply zone with weekly supply zone confluence. With this filter, we got 2 stocks. So these 2 stocks are currently supporting high probability setup. Within these two, if any of these daily supply zones are having daily EMA confluence, they are even more high probability setup. Sorry, not daily, weekly. Because the daily supply zones are part of the weekly supply zone. So weekly supply zones with weekly EMA confluence. Let's verify. In the EMA confluence weekly time frame, because daily supply zone is part of the weekly supply zone. So if weekly supply zone is having weekly EMA confluence, we got one stock is filtered. This is even more high probability setup supported stock. Okay, next let us look for LTF, ITF, HTF supply zone confluence. Removing this EMA filter. That is a daily, weekly and monthly supply zone confluence. 3 filters we should set. Already one filter is enabled. That is daily with weekly. Next, daily supply zone with monthly supply zone confluence. Weekly supply zone with monthly supply zone confluence. Filters are enabled. With this, we did not get any stocks. That means there is no HTF confluence supported stocks. Okay, this is about bearish trade setup for monthly income trade. So next one is a bullish trade setup for weekly income trade. For weekly income trade, entry time frame is 75 minutes. Entry zone, demand zone, bullish trade setup. In bullish or bearish trade setup, entry time frame 75 minutes. I am selecting bullish. That 75 minutes demand zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count at 75 minutes time frame, I am setting minimum value 0, maximum value 0. Zone achievement VOZ. Minimum order hands score 12. All 3 filters are applied to 75 minutes demand zone. We got 4 stocks. Currently, these 4 stocks are supporting bullish trade setup for weekly income trade. That is entry time frame 75 minutes. So in these 4 stocks, any high probability supported, let's verify first based on LTF and ITF, demand zone confluence. So in the demand zone confluence, entry time frame 75 minutes demand zone with daily demand zone confluence. That is LTF, ITF, demand zone confluence. We got 3 stocks. So in these 3 stocks, the entry time frame 75, all these are all 75 minutes demand zones. So these 75 minutes demand zones are part of the daily demand zone. They are overlapped with the daily demand zone. Because they are part of the daily demand zone, if the daily demand zone is having daily EMA confluence, it is even more high probability setup. Let's verify. In the EMA confluence at daily time frame, daily demand zone with daily EMA confluence, we did not get any stock. Fine. Next, let us look for LTF, ITF, HTF zone confluence. How to remove this EMA filter? I removed it. So in the demand zone confluence, 3 filters we should set. That is 75 with daily already enabled. 75 minutes demand zone with weekly demand zone confluence. Daily demand zone with weekly demand zone confluence filters are enabled. With this, we got 1 stock, only 1 stock. This is a high probability setup based on LTF, ITF, HTF. If this weekly zone is having weekly EMA confluence, it is even more high probability setup, because the daily and 75 minutes and daily together are part of the weekly zone. And weekly zone trend is up, and the weekly zone is having weekly EMA confluence. Let's verify. EMA confluence, weekly time frame, weekly demand zone with weekly EMA confluence. No, that zone is not having EMA confluence. So no issues. Next, let us look for bearish trade setup for weekly income trade. Entry time frame is 75 minutes. Entry zone is supply zone. In bullish or bearish trade setup at 75 minutes, I am selecting bearish. The 75 minute supply zone should not be pierced. So 75 minutes time frame, minimum value I am setting 0, max 0. Zone achievement VOZ and enhanced score 12. All 3 filters are applied to 75 minute supply zone. 4 stocks are filtered. And these 4 stocks are supporting bearish trade setup for weekly income trade. That is entry time frame and zone are 75 minute supply zones. All these supply zones are 75 minute zones. And in these 4, are there any high probability supported stocks? Let's verify based on LTF and ITF supply zone confluence. That means 75 minute supply zone confluence with daily supply zone. So I am enabling the filter 75 minute supply zone with daily supply zone confluence. So with this filter, we got 3 stocks. In all the 3 stocks, the 75 minute supply zones are high probability setup supported stocks. If these because these 75 minute supply zones are part of the daily supply zone and daily trend is down, If any of these daily stocks are having, daily supply zones are having daily EMA confluence, they are even more high probability setup supported stocks. Let's verify. In the EMA confluence at a daily time frame, because the 75-minute zone is part of the daily zone, and if the daily supply zone is having daily EMA confluence, we got all the three stocks we got. That means all these three are high probability supported 75-minute supply zones. Next, let us look for LTF, ITF and HTF supply zone confluence. I am removing this EMA filter. So in the supply zone confluence, three filters we should set. Already one filter is already enabled, that is 75 with daily. Next, 75-minute supply zone with weekly supply zone confluence enabled. Daily supply zone with weekly supply zone confluence also enabled. With this LTF, ITF, HTF confluence, we got two stocks. In both these stocks, HTF trend is sideways. No need to check for HTF EMA confluence. Okay, this is about bearish trade setup for weekly income trade. Next, daily income trade. Entry time frame is 15 minutes. Entry zone is demand zone, bullish trade setup. In bullish or bearish trade setup at 15 minutes, I am selecting bullish. And 15 minutes zone should not be pierced, 15 minutes demand zone. So in the 15 minutes time frame, minimum value I am setting 0, maximum value 0, zone achievement VOZ, min odd enhance score 12. All three filters are applied to 15 minutes demand zone. And we got three stocks. And these three stocks are supporting bullish trade setup for daily income trade. That is entry time frame 15 minutes. Out of these three stocks, how many are having high probability setup supported? So first let us verify based on LTF and ITF demand zone confluence. That is 15 minutes demand zone with 75 minutes demand zone confluence. I am enabling the filter. With this filter, we got one stock. So this is supporting high probability LTF because 15 minutes demand zone is part of the 75 minutes demand zone. That is 75 minutes trend is uptrend. If this is having daily EMA confluence, it could be even more high probability. Let's verify in the EMA confluence 75 minutes because 15 minutes entry zone is part of the 75 minutes demand zone. If this 75 minutes demand zone is having a daily EMA confluence, yes, it is having daily EMA confluence. That means it is a high probability setup supported stock. Okay, next let us look for LTF, ITF, HTF confluence supported stocks. I am removing EMA filter. So in the demand zone confluence, three filters we should set. First filter 15 minutes with 75 minutes already enabled. Next 15 minutes demand zone with daily demand zone confluence enabled. 75 minutes demand zone with daily demand zone confluence also enabled. With all the three filters LTF, ITF, HTF confluence, we did not get any stocks. Okay, fine. This is about bullish trade setup for daily income trade. Next, bearish trade setup for daily income trade. Entry time frame 15 minutes. Entry zone is supply zone. In bullish or bearish trade setup at 15 minutes, I am selecting bearish. The 15-minute supply zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count column at 15 minutes time frame, I am setting minimum value 0, maximum value 0. Zone achievement should be VOZ, violated opposing zone, minimum odd enhance score is 12. All three filters are applied to 15-minute supply zone. We got 7 stocks. All these 7 stocks are currently supporting bearish trade setup for daily income trade. That is entry time frame and entry zone are 15-minute supply zones. All these supply zones are 15 minutes time frame supply zones. And among these 7, there could be even more there could be some high probability supported stocks might be available. For that first filter, let us use LTF, ITF supply zone confluence. That is 15-minute supply zone with 75-minute supply zone confluence. I am enabling the filter 15-minute supply zone with 75-minute supply zone confluence. With this filter, we got 5 stocks. In all these 5 stocks, the 15-minute supply zones are part of the 75-minute supply zones. Within these 5, there could be even more high probability setup based on EMA confluence. because 15-minute supply zone is part of the 75-minute supply zone. If the 75-minute supply zone is having daily EMA confluence, so 75-minute supply zone with daily EMA confluence filter I set. Two stocks are filtered, and these two are even more high probability setup stocks. Because all these 15-minute zones are part of the 75-minute zone, and the 75-minute trend is a downtrend, and all these zones are having daily EMA confluence. Okay, next let us look for LTF, ITF, HTF combination, confluence. So remove the EMA filter. In the supply zone confluence, 3 filters we should set. First filter is already enabled, that is 15-minute supply zone with 75-minute supply zone confluence. Next 15-minute supply zone with daily supply zone confluence filter enabled. 75-minute supply zone with daily supply zone confluence filter is enabled. With all the 3 filters, LTF, ITF, HTF supply zone confluence, we got only one stock. And daily trend is sideways, HTF trend. No need to check for daily EMA confluence. So this is about a bearish trade setup for daily income trade. Next, hourly income trade, bullish trade setup, entry time frame 5 minutes, entry zone, demand zone, and in bullish or bearish trade setup at 5 minutes, I am selecting bullish. These 5 minutes demand zone should not be pierced, so in the pierced count at 5 minutes time frame, I am setting minimum value 0, maximum value 0, zone achievement VOZ, minimum odd enhancer score 12. All 3 filters are applied to 5 minutes demand zone, and we got a very big list. These are the first 15 stocks, and remaining total 19 stocks are supporting bullish trade setup for hourly income trade. Entry time frame is 5 minutes. Entry zone is demand zone. All these are all 5 minutes demand zone bullish trade setups. But among these 19, there could be high probability setup supported stocks are available. First, let us look for LTF and ITF demand zone confluence. That is 5 minutes demand zone with 15 minutes demand zone confluence. I am enabling the filter. Now, based on this filter, let's verify. We got 14 stocks. In all these 14 stocks, these 5 minutes demand zones are part of the 15 minutes demand zone. They are overlapped with 15 minutes demand zone. And 15 minutes trend is uptrend. If any of these 15 minutes demand zones are having daily EMA confluence, they are even more high probability setup stocks. Let's verify. So in the EMA confluence at 15 minutes time frame, because 5 minute zone is part of the 15 minute zone. If 15 minute zone is having a daily EMA confluence, 15 minutes demand zone with daily EMA confluence filter is set, we got 2 stocks. So these 2 are even more high probability setup supported stocks. Okay, next let us look for LTF, ITF, HTF demand zone confluence stocks. I am removing this EMA filter. Now we need to set 3 filters. One filter is already enabled, that is 5 minutes demand zone with 15 minutes demand zone. Next 5 minutes demand zone with 75 minutes demand zone confluence. 15 minutes demand zone with 75 minutes demand zone confluence filters also set with this LTF, ITF, HTF demand zone confluence. We got 6 stocks. In these 6, second, third, fourth and fifth, they are having uptrend. Among these 4 stocks, if any of them are having 75 minutes demand zone with daily EMA confluence, they are even more high probability setup, because 5 minute zone is part of the 15 minutes demand zone, both together again part of the 75 minutes demand zone. Those 75 minutes demand zone trend up and having a daily EMA confluence, it is even more high probability setup. So in the EMA confluence at 75 minutes time frame, because the 5 minutes and 15 minutes together is part of the 75 minutes zone. That is what zone confluence with HTF time frame. And this 75 minutes demand zone with daily EMA confluence, let's check any stocks will filter. One stock is filtered. And the trend, 75 minutes trend is also uptrend. So it is a high probability setup supported stock. So high liquidity zone already tested once. Okay, next let us look for Bearish trade setup for hourly income trade, entry time frame 5 minutes, entry zone is supply zone. In bullish or bearish trade setup at 5 minutes, I am selecting bearish. The 5-minute supply zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count at 5 minutes time frame, I am setting minimum value 0, maximum value 0. Zone achievement violated opposing zone. Minimum odd enhancer score 12. All the 3 filters are applied to 5-minute supply zone. Let's verify. We got 7 stocks. In all these 7 stocks, the 5-minute supply zones are part of the, all these 7 stocks are currently supporting bearish trade setup for hourly income trade. Entry time frame entry zone are 5-minute supply zones. Among these 5-minute supply zones, there could be even more high probability setup supported stocks might be available. First, let us look for 5 minutes and 15-minute supply zone confluence. That is the LTF, ITF supply zone confluence. So in the supply zone confluence, I am enabling the filter 5-minute supply zone with 15-minute supply zone confluence. With this filter, we got all the 7 stocks. That means all the 7 stocks, the 5-minute supply zones are part of the 15-minute supply zone. And the 15-minute trend is down. If any of these 15-minute supply zones are having daily EMA confluence, they are even more high probability setup. Let's verify. In the EMA confluence at 15 minutes time frame, 15-minute supply zone with the daily EMA confluence. So none of the stocks are filtered. Okay, next let us look for LTF, ITF, HTF confluence. I have to remove this EMA filter, removed it. In LTF, ITF, HTF supply zone confluence, 3 filters we should set. First filter is already set. And second filter 5-minute supply zone with 75-minute supply zone confluence. Third one 15-minute supply zone with 75-minute supply zone confluence. With all the 3 LTF, ITF, HTF supply zone confluence, we got 5 stocks. In all these 5 except the first one, remaining all are having downtrend HTF trend. In these stocks, because these are all 75-minute trend, 75-minute trend downtrend stocks, if 75-minute supply zone is having daily EMA confluence, they are even more high probability setup. Because 5 minutes and 15 minutes zones together part of the 75-minute zone. So that's why in the EMA confluence at 75 minutes time frame, I am setting the filter 75-minute supply zone with daily EMA confluence. No stocks are having daily EMA confluence. Okay, this is about bearish trade setup for hourly income trade, and the last final report, let us generate the stop buffers based on daily ATR. First 17 in this list are indices, remaining all are equity stocks. So I am scrolling the list down, whichever the stock you want to refer, there you please pause the video. So this is the end of the report. Hope this information will be useful to you for your further study and analysis. Let's all meet again in our next video. Thank you.